What's up, everybody? Nonpon here, and in this video I just want to cover some tips that I just don't think are covered very often in this game. They're like small tidbits that you may have overlooked, or if you're a new player you don't even know that these functions are even available. So hopefully this video can shed some insight on some things that you're wondering about. So the first thing I want to cover is your on-screen character. It's not very intuitive, but if you click on them, you do get a new button over here, and when you click on this, then you're able to switch who's on the screen. That's a question I kind of see a little bit on the Discords, and again, it's not very intuitive. I guess once you click them one time, you'll find out it's right there, but that's something you can do if you want to change your wife on the screen. Another thing people sometimes ask about is the chat. People say that they don't have a chat, and that's for a reason. You do not get access to world chat until you are level 50. I'm assuming this is to stop spammers, like new accounts to spam advertisements down here, but you need to be level 50 before you can see the chat. Then you can talk to other players. What else do we have here? If you want to spend money, I'll go over this one really quickly. When it comes down to bit gold, after getting the one-time purchases on all of these, the best value after that is the $30 pack. You should only be purchasing the $30 pack. It's technically the best value between everything else here on the board. If you want to, obviously, if you have $30 to spend on this game, I'm just letting you guys know, if you are a spender, this is the best value from these packs over here. Obviously, like monthly pack and battle pass are good as well. What else? All right, the base. This is something that I think people don't figure out till later because, again, it's not very intuitive. But if you do your texture pieces here for furniture, you can rotate these guys. You just click on this. Yeah. There you go. Some people think that, you can't really turn it, but you just have to click it right here. And then, boom, you can put it over here. There is an 8-piece that looks like a plus sign. The more 8 pieces you have in your puzzle, the more vouchers you'll get to purchase furniture over here for your girls. And furniture will raise their affection, and raising their affection also raises up their damage and gives you a story. So if you do care about this, you can refresh your puzzle piece. You get 2 refreshes here. So if I don't like this one because it doesn't have enough slots, I can refresh it. And this one, right? Well, not this one. This is a pretty bad one. But basically, you can refresh it to where you can use like 3 puzzle pieces, 3 plus size puzzle pieces, the 8 pieces. I don't have one right here. Because the more you use in the puzzle, the more vouchers you'll get for a reward. So that's up to you if you want to do that. Again, if you care too much about the 10 extra vouchers, just something I don't see that comes up very often. Oh, speaking of which, yeah, by the way, if you have your character's affection up, you get more DPS. Right over here, you click this little affinity boost here, increases the final damage by 5%. It goes up to 50. Technically it goes over 50, but no one's going to reach 51. Like, the level limiter is insane. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Another thing is, when you're using your characters, you can actually make it so they automatically swap off after using an ultimate. So for example, if I want to use Add Shell here, I click on this and then I can choose for her to swap out or stay in when she's doing her ultimate. So that's pretty nice because I don't think I want to keep Atro on the field when she's doing her ultimate, right? Let's see what else. If you're a new player, it's always better to farm the event for materials first because usually they have better value. The only exception is the logistics, if you're pulling for the character or not. If you're not pulling for the character or skipping them, you don't really need these logistics. I guess you can at least get the gun for the attachment, because if you get the gun to 50, you get a weapon attachment. But basically, This is better value for your stamina to purchase instead. This is better value, right? Because I know we have an operation section over here where the game teaches you like, hey, you can farm silver bucks here. You can farm, you know, experience. I'm going to be honest, guys, I have not used this in a very long time, especially when there's always an event up. So that's up to you. The only exception would probably be if you want some specific logistics right here. You know, that's fine from like past events. Or if you want to farm up for a specific weapon over here, because you can get these parts to get weapon components. So, yep. The time to use exchange for limited time purple weapon tier weapons. Yep. So that's fine. You can use that too. Another thing is that when you do get to level 50 and you have world chat, you can buy some stickers here. Some from events and some are from the daily login pack that you can purchase if you want to. If you go over here to choice, what's this called? Choice product. Is that what it is? Choice products? Okay. Here you can buy different outfits and you can buy stickers. You can also get the adjunct some sunglasses if you want. Okay, so here's another small thing. When you are playing co-op, there is a way to invite the world chat. This is not something you would see before you're level 50, I think, but it's still useful, and I use this all the time when I'm streaming over at Twitch. If you guys want to play sometime, have any questions, or just want to stop by and chill, I stream consistently random over at Twitch around 6 p.m. Eastern time. Would love to have you. So what you do is you can either start matchmaking down here, you click battle start, you'll probably find some people who are also queuing up, or you can also press the send invite button here, and if you do, you will send an invitation to world chat. So if I go over here to invites now, you can see that people have this and they can click on it to join. So if you're looking for a co-op, that's another way you can invite other people. This is kind of a newer thing, but you can change the background music of your menu and dorm now, which is very nice. All you have to do is click story history over here, and music's in story history. It's kind of weird. No lie. But you click that, and then you can pretty much click whatever event we ever had, and then just you can put this as the main menu, or you can put this as your dorm. So that's nice if you're tired of the default music. I know I was. That's something else you can check out. This next tip, most people probably know, but for new players, they may not. So you can actually farm copies for a character to raise their manifestation level. So that way you don't have to spend money. You can just get their level ups over time. So as you see here, I have Cyrus, and I never pulled another Cyrus. I just farmed out for this M1 here. Now, if you go over here to the fight menu and go down here to the personal file, this is where you can farm your character's daily shards, right? So it looks like I have 6 left. So if I wanted to, I don't know, we can say, we do Cyrus again, right? I'll click Cyrus, and actually, no, let's do Enya. I'll click Enya, and then I auto clear, and then boom, I get some shards, and I get these over time where I can upgrade her manifestation. Now, we do get this separate stamina over here called memory shards. Well, I guess they're called memory chips, right? It costs 3 per run, and for 5 stars, you can only do 2 a day. There's an event going on right now where we have memory chips, and you can use those memory chips kind of like stamina, right? So like we got these in the mail. I have 4, so that means I have 12 more I can run. I'm sorry, 12 more stamina, so that means I get 4 more runs. So yeah, I could use that to actually get Cyrus. We could do that. So boom, 6 more memory chips. I want to farm up Cyrus. I'll clear that, and there we go. So over time, if you just keep doing things like that, you'll eventually get the manifestations you're looking for without having to spend a single dollar. So a question I get a lot too is what kind of subsets you would want. For DPS characters, about 90% of the time, guys, it's going to be attack percent and alignment index. And this is what I'm talking about right here. If you go to the logistics and you click on view details, you have 3 stats. So you can get attack percent, alignment index, and obviously the third one, hopefully being the element that your character uses. About 90% of the time, this will not steer you wrong. I promise you. You can even use this on the new life if you want to. However, we're still testing to see if skill haste might be better instead of attack percent, ironically enough. But if you have a new character and you're like, what do I use for this DPS character 90% of the time, this will not fail you. There are a couple exceptions, like Yao instead wants either attack and S energy to keep herself going, or even crit damage, right? There are a few exceptions, but 90% of the time, the attack and alignment index will not steer you wrong. But what's alignment index, Nonpon? That's another question that sometimes people give me. Alignment index is their duos alignment. So there is no button on the screen immediately to see what the alignment index does. But if you click on one of these skills, and then over here you click this button here, you can see what the duos alignment does. So over here you can see that for every 100 alignment index, her frost damage is increased by an additional 7% of her attack during her firing mode. So that's cool, right? So you can see alignment index does different things for different characters. By the way, speaking of alignment index, you get alignment index just by leveling up your character's neuronics here. So over here, this is where you update their skills, right? Every time you fill out one of these nodes, you get 50 alignment index. You can actually see it right here. When you click it, this one gives me 5, this one gives me 5. So just by filling these up, you'll actually get a flat 300 alignment index for your character. So that's pretty nice. The other thing I want to talk about with alignment index, one more thing I promise, is that I know on the skills they say for each 100 alignment index, I don't like how they word that. Basically, you don't need to get 100 alignment index to appreciate the value of a buff. So what I mean by that is that if something increases your damage by, I don't know, let's say 10% for every 100 alignment index. If you have 90, it raises up by 9%, right? You don't have to, it's not every 100 alignment index you're granted this buff here, right? It is cumulative. So even though it says each 100 alignment index, which I really don't like, I wish it was just like down to the smallest amount. I guess it makes it easier to read. Just so you guys know, you don't need to be bracketed by each 100. So I just wanted to cover a handful of tips that I think are pretty miscellaneous that people really don't talk about very often, especially because we have a lot of new players nowadays with Snowbreak Containment Zone, which I'm very happy about. If you guys have any tips that could help out new players, or just some, underground tips that people don't talk about very often, if you could share those below in the comments, that would actually mean a lot. Maybe you could help out other players as well. If you want to hang out or have any other questions, stop by over at our Twitch. I could be streaming right now. Would love to have you. And we have a Discord. If you have questions, you can ask them there. We play other gacha games as well. Would love to have you. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. Until next time, take care.